Hi friends, it's Becky, and the beads were good again this week. I had a very easy week on my beading table because real life was a little more on the hectic side for me, but that's okay because I made it through this week and I hope all of you made it through as well. I hope you were able to find some time for yourself, for your family, for counting your blessings and the good things and the joys in life, because I was able to slow down and focus on some of the good things so that we could make it through this week. It was hectic, and I know I'm not the only person who had to go through some things, so we did that. So all of my projects were easy projects that I didn't have to, go work on for an hour and then come back or do a ton of prep ahead of time. There is one exception to that, and that is the bead weaving project that we did, but everything else we did, I turned on my camera, just beaded with you, and then we turned it off, and I really, really appreciate everyone who wanted to spend time just doing some beading, just doing some easy things, and just doing that together. One thing about easy projects is that with gift giving season approaching, sticking to easy projects is going to make it a lot less hectic for you if you are making jewelry as gifts. So hopefully some of these you can hit save on and come back to with your own beads or your own take on it or something like that. And that should be pretty fun for you to do. But let's go ahead and jump down to the beading mat and we'll take a look at what I made, and then we'll jump back up here and I'll try them on for you. Okay, so here's the bead's eye view of the things that I've made this week. And like I said earlier, I did just mostly easy things this week. Things that I could make quickly and without having to spend too much time preparing or working on. One of them wasn't as quick as the other, but it was one that gave me more of a meditative process, something that I could do a repetitive thing over and over again in order to do that, and it still ended up being something that you could finish in a day. So it wasn't a really, really long project for that. One of the things that I made, though, was this bracelet, and I used the dollar bead box beads and this silver silk pearlesque chain that is just perfect. And I used as inspiration one of the prompts for the joyful beading challenge that they're doing in the Softflex group. And so this one was pumpkin spice, and so I picked out beads from Dollar Bead Box that made me think of pumpkin spice, the ginger and the cinnamon and all of that stuff. And this pearlesque chain is exactly pumpkin spicy, so I was really happy to make this. It was a fun and easy and pleasant make, and one of the things that made it so easy is that just this second strand with the silver silk is so easy to use. All I have to do is just put these little crimps on the end, and it's immediately enhances it, makes it even better. And then, I don't know, I forget the order that I did some of these. It's fine. But then I think I did an easy stringing with some of these beads from the Potomac Beads Best Bead Box. This is the Treasure Edition, and I just love these colors. It's muted, but then you've got these little pops of color in here, and it was just a really fun activity to pull them out and put them in order and just start stringing until I thought I was ready and had enough. I kind of did pre-measure it so that I didn't have to add things at the end. I could just do what I wanted to with all of that, and it was, again, a fun and easy activity, and I ended up with a really great necklace that I think is going to be one of my favorites, honestly. So that was another one that I did. And then I think this was the next one, or it might have been this necklace, I don't know. But I did these super cute, sort of whimsical, especially with the way that the wire bends with the shape of these. It's got this a little whimsical bendy shape to it for these earrings, using these tulip beads and some leaf beads that came in the Sam's Bead Box. So that was a lot of fun to make. It was, one of those days that I was like, I just need something easy. something quick, something that will give me that satisfaction of I've made something, and earrings are a go-to for me for that. You know, put some beads on a head pin, put it on a little, some ear wires, and you're done. You're done, and it's easy, simple, quick. One of my favorite activities is just making earrings because it's something that is so low stakes, and yet you get really good payoff from that. And then I wanted to do something, again, sort of on the easy side, but I think for this one I used the Soft Flex fine wire, and I used 2 strands at once to string some of these beads and this pendant that came in. There was a free gift that Soft Flex had given out with, it was either with purchase or something else like that, during TGBE. And so this was like their fall bead bundle thing with some of these bugle beads, and then there were these seed beads and some of these fair polish rondelles and this pretty ceramic pendant. And someone suggested painting the petals on this ceramic pendant, and I probably am going to get around to that. Not now though, that's more time, more effort, but I just did a really quick button and loop closure on that because it's nice and easy to do with when you're doing 2 strands, because you just put the button on at first. Oh, I also tried out these new crimps, and it was another really easy way to crimp it. I think if you recall in the video, I did mention that you need some grip strength to be able to close these crimps. So if you have trouble with your grip strength, it's not a good idea. Also, I don't know what metal is underneath the plating, so I don't know that this would be something that someone with metal allergies or sensitivities would be able to wear. But if you are making it for someone who doesn't have metal sensitivities and you have good grip strength, it's like a one-step thing. You put the crimp on and then you just squish the little pop-out thing closed. So it was pretty easy, actually, to use that. And then when I unboxed I got a bead haul. I bought a whole bunch of Christmas beads and all of that, and I just filmed unboxing it and sorting it, and while I was doing it, I pulled out these peppermint charms. They were sold individually, so I just got 2 of them when I bought them. And then some of these beads that came in one of the bead mixes in that bead haul order. And just right at the end of making all of that, I pulled out my one-step looper again to make it even easier, and just made a really cute pair of holiday peppermint earrings that I'm just gonna have a lot of fun wearing this year, I think. I love red and white together. They're a great color combination. So you've got those. Then I wanted a simply strung group of beads, and this one was a little bit more complicated because I had to put jump rings on these in order to string them on. But then I only strung half of it, and the other half is just attaching it to a chain and putting on a clasp. So again, fairly easy, fairly quick. I did it all without doing any edits, just string it on camera, so you could see all of that going all at once. You could probably, this might actually work as a bracelet too. No, it's a little bit big for bracelet. Maybe a little bit shorter, but you know, I think it works as a necklace just fine. And then last but not least, we did a spiral stitch bracelet. I just wanted to use just the seed beads that came in my kit, and I had started one that I started it this last week, but I didn't finish it because it was taking a little bit longer because it was going to be necklace length. But I wanted to do a bracelet length one, and it was so perfect to get these blue beads with some white and silvery accent beads as well. So it just gives you like this frosty, wintry color scheme kind of a feel to it. And this button is one that I had gotten it in a button grab bag. Like, when was it? It might have been earlier this year, March maybe. I got a lot of buttons in those grab bags though. and it is just such a great little vintage button. I love that, and this is great using vintage buttons that are made of glass that don't have any metal on it. That's a really great way if you're making things for someone who has a metal allergy, or just aren't able to wear metals without it ruining their life. So that's a fun thing to do, and I think I might be doing some more of those this next week. So let's flip back up to face to face, and I'll put these on for you. All right, let's get these guys on here. What am I going to start with? How about my bracelet, my pumpkin spice bracelet? Kind of love it a lot. I think I have like two themes. One is warm, like yellows and reds this week, and the other is blues and maybe greens this week. So this is the bracelet that I made. Super easy to get on and off. It really helps having this little dangle because you can hold the dangle while you're like adjusting your thing. It makes it easy to get that on. So you've got that. And then while I've got this on, I'm just going to go ahead and put on this necklace. I'm doing it out of order, and I hope that's okay, because this was the necklace that I made with the Soft Flex Fine and the beads that I got as a bonus. Right there. It stays very, very nicely, and since we're doing reds, let's jump over to I know, we're jumping from autumn to Christmas, but you know what? It'll all be fine. There are no rules. I can wear whatever I want with whatever I want. So here's my warms. Let's take these off. I really love these earrings. They are super fun. Take these off, put that on, take this off, and let me put on my one that I made with Potomac beads. Put that on. So I'm going to tell you what I'm planning on this week in just a minute after we finish trying these on. Speaking of Potomac beads, sorry, my t-shirt is a little wobbly around the neck. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I've got that, and then I've got my tulip earrings. I love these tulip earrings. They are so cute. Bloop. Bloop. I'm just going to leave them in, if you don't mind, because I'm not putting any other earrings in my ears for this try-on. But then I've got this necklace here with, it's got so many different textures. I think that's my favorite thing about this necklace is just the textures. They're so cool. Love them. Alright, here we go. I have lost the little loop that the lobster clasp goes in. I mean, it's still on here, but I can't feel it in my fingers because my hair is in the way. There you go. So that hangs just like that. And yeah, let's leave that on. And then this is the bracelet that I made. It is a very simple bracelet. The nice thing about using an oval shape is that I can get it around the narrow part a little bit easier than the wider part. So if I just turn it the right way, it's easy to get on. And then it kind of turns itself so that the wide part, so it'll stay on. There we go. Pretty easy bracelet. So we've got that. So what I'm planning on this week, let's talk about upcoming stuff. I'm going to my sister's house. I am going to start driving tomorrow afternoon after I go get the oil changed in my car because it needs it before I start driving to my sister's house. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to stay for about maybe 4 or 5 days at her house. We're going to do sister things. I am bringing some things so we can make ornaments together, and my sister is very excited to be on camera with me, and so we're going to do a sister make along, and we're going to be having some fun making ornaments together at her kitchen table. I'm going to bring, you know, a light and a little thing that holds the camera, and we will just record it and we'll put it up here and you guys can listen to us chatter and laugh. We giggle a lot when we're together. I hope that's fine with you. So it'll be a lot of fun, and you guys will get to know my sister a little bit more because she'll be on there with me, and it'll be really fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. But that does mean that since I'm going to be at her house, and I'm only going to be doing like a couple of content things while I'm with her because we're going to be busy working on other things together, and spending time and just enjoying each other's company and doing that sort of thing. So like while we have plans for a couple of, you know, activities that are going to be fun for us to do together and that we can record, and that she'll actually have a lot of fun recording with me. Other than those things, I'm not planning on doing a lot of content creation. So today, after I get done recording this, I'm going to pre-record a couple of tutorials because there were some things that I want to make before the new bead boxes come that I was going to be using with these things, which are on their way. And that's another thing, is there's about 4 boxes that I am going to be delaying the unboxing for until I get back from my sister's house, and that's just because they're not going to be delivered until Tuesday or Wednesday. And so I'm not going to be able to until I do that. So if when I get back you suddenly see like 4 different unboxing videos on my channel, it's just because I haven't been home in order to be able to do that. I know one of them I have been home and I have it, but there was an item missing in it, and that's the Potomac Beads box, and it's totally fine. I was not mad. First of all, not mad. It's human beings are the ones that pack them, that ship them, that put them together, that plan them out, and human beings sometimes make mistakes. It happens because they're human beings. They are not machines. They are actual people. And so when I reached out to them, I said, hey, should I just do the unboxing without it? They just put it immediately in the mail. It is on its way. It will get here while I'm gone. And that's fine because you know what? Usually my Potomac Bead, the treasure box, gets here before my kit box does. So I can't include my kit box with my unboxing, but this time I can because my kit box will also be here by the time I get back. So I can show you some of that in my unboxing. And when we organize the treasure box, I can go through some of my kit items and see what kind of things I'll be able to make on my own, off camera, when I'm relaxing in the evening. That's what I like kits for. So there's that. Also the Jesse James Beads, the Magical Mystery Bead box, that was delayed. It was supposed to be here, I think last week or the week before. And again, human beings are the ones handling this, and there are things that were out of their control that caused the delay. Things like importing or duties. They didn't do a lot of detail, but detail's not necessary when they're communicating these things to us. They were very clear in their communication. They gave us expectations. They set those expectations well. They let us know when we could expect further communication. They continue to communicate. They did a really excellent job of handling that customer expectation and setting customer expectations and communication when they had a problem come up, a little bump in the road that meant that they weren't able to ship the boxes on time. So I'm not worried, but it means that like an unboxing that I was going to be sharing with you probably this last week is going to be delayed until after I get back from my sister's house and I can actually get to it and see what's in it. I'm excited to see what's in it, honestly, because I don't know what it is. It's going to be a big surprise for me, and it'll be a big surprise for you too until you get yours. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, Sam's Bead Box. Sam's Bead Box is getting here Monday. Well, no, not Monday, because Monday's a holiday and that's when I'm traveling to my sister's house. It gets here Tuesday, and I'm not going to be opening it until this weekend, so everyone's going to know what's in it before I do. I actually, my friend who got hers, she sent me pictures, so I am excited about that because that's some really cool colors, and I love, love, love the curation and just the way that the colors go together and they tell a story, and it's such a great box. I love that. So Sam's bead box, and then there's also the curated bead box. That's going to get here for me probably Friday. So when I get back, I know I'll open them up. That's something that you can expect from me. I may have to cut this short because Ellen has decided, after sleeping through like the last hour, as soon as I turn this on and start talking to y'all, she's like, Mother, pay attention to me. So, but I did want to just real quick, before we go any further, just talk about the concept of craftworthy, somebody who's worthy of receiving handmade items. And it's like, it's not a value judgment against them, it's a judgment against their values. So does that make sense? I don't mean it to be as derogatory as it sounds. It isn't, you know, it's just people have value different things. And I am lucky enough that most of my family members value handmade items. They value the work and the effort and the creativity and the time and the little part of your soul that you put into something that you make yourself. They value that. And so it's easy for me to make handmade items for them. Like, you know, my brother, he was packing up to go to stay with my mom for a couple of months and help her out with organizing her house and cleaning that out. And he was packing his things for cold weather because it's warm in Austin, but it's cold in that part of Texas that he's going to be staying at, or it's going to get colder. And, you know, there was his little, his suitcase and his bag, and right on top of it, folded neatly, was the Green Bay Packers scarf that I had knit him a couple of winters ago, something that it was folded up nicely and neatly. It was something that he cared for, that he valued, because it was something that I made for him, something that was handmade with love. And so like, he valued that. My other brother has very unsubtly hinted at me that he'd like another pair of fingerless mitts because he has arthritis in his hands, but he uses his hands for things. And so having some fingerless mitts where his hands, his finger pads are free, so he can do things on his phone or do things on a computer, but it still keeps like his knuckles and his wrist and his hands warm. It's helpful for him, and he really appreciated the ones that I made for him a couple Christmases ago. So I'm already planning some handmade gifts for family. But not everybody appreciates them, and I know you have probably had people that you've created things for, that you've put the effort to make something specifically for them, and they were like, just, it hurts when that happens, when somebody just, you know, you've got to move them from that category of someone that you can create a handmade item for and move them into this is what gift cards are for category, you know, where you're like, I love you and I value you, but I'm not going to put my heart and soul into something when it's not appreciated. That, you know, everybody has those people. So like in the knitting world, they call them knitworthy. In crochet world, it's crochet worthy. And yeah, I don't know what they call it in paper crafting world, but what do we call it in the beading world? Are they bead worthy? Are they jewelry worthy? I don't know. Craft worthy is a nice blanket term for everyone. Somebody who is worthy of receiving handmade items. And like, I mean, even just a story from my own life, just how differently two people received the same gift was, you are okay, you're not dying of starvation. She's not dying of starvation, I promise. She's eaten already and had several treats. Anyway, it was when my first husband and I got married. I was 19. He's 23. And we were just, you know, young and in love and dumb. And it was fantastic. My kid's dad. And my Aunt Carolyn, had made this amazing quilt for us. It was a handmade quilt. It wasn't like a specific design. It was just like patches of different like kind of polyester double knit fabric, which first of all, the talent to knit double knit fabric in squares that lined up in a grid, I mean, talent first of all, but it was colorful. It had all of these great colors on it, and then the backing was this cotton that was, it wasn't like flimsy cotton, but it was smooth, so it would be smooth against your skin, and it was nice and thick, and it was king sized, so it could grow with us if we, you know, moved up from a queen size bed to a king size at any point. And when I opened it, I immediately was like, this is going to be the coziest quilt I have ever slept under. I was so excited about it, and I was like, yay. And I looked over at my brand new husband, and he was just disgusted. He was so offended that someone gave us a handmade quilt. He didn't value the effort and the time and the skill that it took for them to create something for us that was going to be warm and wonderful to snuggle under. And like, I got offended at that point. I was like, how dare you like look down your nose at this gift, at this thing that my aunt made for us, that she put together for us. And you know, I mean, he apologized later, because after our first winter sleeping in a basement apartment in Utah, where it got cold, he valued that quilt. He valued how warm it was, how snuggly it was. And so like, he learned how to value handmade gifts at that point. But before that, he was not what I would call craftworthy, because he didn't value those things. And you know, the reason we're not married anymore might be one of those mismatches in our values. Maybe, I don't know. There are a lot of reasons, but it's one of those things that you got people in your life that will be craftworthy and people that won't. And so I think one of the things I'm going to do, again, this week I'm going to be with my sister, but the week after I'm going to do gifts. We're just going to work on things that would be giftable, and we might spend some time working on some projects that can be gifted to folks who, especially in the jewelry making, you know, we use a lot of metal components. We use a lot of things that not everybody who wants to wear something pretty and sparkly and shiny can, because there are metal pieces that will make their life miserable. So let's do some of our gifts as things that can be given to family or friends who want to wear a pretty sparkly thing but can't because they have metal allergies or just an intolerance for it or something like that. I think that would be a good use of my time, because I spend so much of my time thinking about these things, because I have those friends, those families, those people in my family. So we'll work on that together, and we'll do that. I'm going to be bringing some silver silk things with me, because I want to see with my sister while I'm with her. I'm going to have her wear some of it, see if the silver silk stuff is okay for someone who has metal allergies, because I have a feeling it will be, because the wire itself is copper, and the findings are like plated like 5 times. So we're going to test it out. We're going to see it. She's going to volunteer and help me with that, so that we can find out for sure, and I will let you guys know the results of it after we've tested it out and tried it out, because that might be a good option if it is. So we're gonna do that. It's one of my little things that I'm gonna do with my sister. I'm gonna make her potentially miserable, maybe not miserable, with some jewelry things. I don't know. We're gonna experiment. Anyway, I have to go because someone really needs her dinner. So I love you all. I really hope that you are keeping it together, having a week, and that next week is going to be a better week for you. I really sincerely hope that next week will be better for all of us. And I will talk with you later. Happy beading.